If you would have actually known the law, you would not have detained her, right?
It's not every day that you get to see a corrupt cop being held accountable for their actions. However, we'll be exploring 3 such cases today where this actually happened. Starting with the most shocking one. It all started back in March 2018 when Amanda Berquist, who also happens to be a YouTuber, decided to go into a courthouse in Cook County to address 3 traffic tickets she had received. Upon doing so, she also took her camera to record everything. However, her reception at the gate was far from welcoming.
Ma'am, you know this is a public building?
Exactly, that's why I'm recording it.
It's also a court facility,
Yep.
which there is a judicial law or judicial order that says that you cannot tape this building.
Can I see that order?
Yes, come on in. We're going to check your IDs too.
Oh, no, I'm not going in.
Oh yeah, no. We're going to run you too.
No, that's all
We're going to
right.
get your name. We're going to do a report and everything. So come on in.
No.
No, yeah, you're going to come in now.
Am I being detained?
Yes.
For what?
Because right now you are doing something suspicious.
That's not a reason to detain anybody.
Well, it is for dinner. Okay.
Are you familiar with the First Amendment?
Yes. I am.
Really?
Let's go in. Come on.
It took Lieutenant Milazzo less than a minute to forcibly confiscate her camera. Accompanied by Sergeant Jennifer Larson, Amanda was detained and taken inside the courthouse, simply for exercising her right to film in public.
Do you have an ID?
I don't want searches, and I'm remaining silent. So, that's it. I was taking pictures outside, and that's it.
That officer's en route.
You were taking a picture of a secure building.
Yep.
He doesn't need to come up. The
In public.
prosecutor just wanted me to check on it.
Do you want to cooperate or not?
I'm remaining silent.
What's going on today?
I don't know.
Every crazy loon in the building is coming. All we're asking is an ID.
We're asking for an
Try
ID.
to do what-
Amanda had committed no crime. Therefore, she had no reason to give her ID to the officers. However, the cops there seemed to have no understanding of the law as Milazzo started to search her belongings.
Otherwise, I'm going to confiscate the camera and we're going to take it downstairs
For what
and
crime?
we'll print you. Because you're suspicious.
I'm remaining silent.
Oh.
No property at all.
Here, I'll help you. I'll help you.
Milazzo searched her bag and her camera. He even went so far ahead to delete the pictures and videos she had taken of the public building. More than 15 minutes later, she was brought before the presiding judge while still handcuffed, who ordered her to stop recording. After being let go without any charges, Amanda later filed a lawsuit against the county and both officers involved in the incident. As a result of the lawsuit, Lieutenant Milazzo was questioned by her lawyer, and here is the deposition.
Who told you that the policy is to detain people taking pictures outside of the building, please?
I'm gonna object. It was just asked, and it was just answered. He said he doesn't remember.
What could you do to help us to help yourself remember?
Objection vague.
I'd like an answer.
I don't know.
Right from the beginning, the lawyer took a firm stance against Milazzo, and it was clear that he felt the pressure as he continually dodged the serious questions.
And your testimony is that you were told there was a written policy. How is it that this policy was conveyed to you that you're supposed to detain people outside of the building taking pictures?
It was just a standing policy we had.
Did you hear my question?
Can you repeat it?
Sure. How is it that you became aware of the policy? Did somebody tell you? Did somebody post it? Was it an email?
Far as back I remember, it would have been the Chief Deputy Robert Beavers.
The lawyer mentioned the policy of arresting someone for taking pictures outside the courthouse, and rightly so, as there is no policy like that. In fact, it's completely legal to take pictures or videos outside a public building.
Was there anything in writing about this?
I don't recall.
All right. Have you looked at the judicial order since March? Okay. After you arrested her, did you look at the order that day?
No.
How soon after the arrest did you look up the order to see what it actually said?
I don't recall.
At this point, Milazzo realized that he had violated someone's rights, and the lawyer made sure to get to the bottom of this.
So if you would have actually known the law, you would not have detained her, right?
Well, Right now, we would know what she was doing out there. But at the time, we didn't know if she was videotaping people coming out, videotaping witnesses, videotaping people that were involved in domestic violence, videotaping inside the door where the posts were. We didn't know that.
However, it would still take a lot of guts to accept his mistake, something Lieutenant Milazzo clearly lacked as he kept dodging the questions, only to make matters worse for him.
Any of those examples you just gave, if that's what you thought she was doing, would you arrest her then?
Then,
Now. Would you arrest her now?
now I know who she is and I know what she's doing.
Forget her. Let's say somebody else is outside. We get done with the deposition, you walk outside or you look outside your window and you see somebody filming the building. Are you going to go over and detain that person or not?
I'm gonna object again. Calls for speculation.
At this point, the attorney was relentlessly grilling Milazzo, who seems to have no escape from this except by letting his lawyer intervene.
Are you armed right now?
Yes.
Are you going to pull out your gun and shoot me right now?
I'm object. That's
or no?
argumentative. That's
I'm not
harassment.
arguing with anything.
Let's not do that.
Are you telling him to not answer that question?
No, he can answer, but
I'd like an answer,
let's not
please.
do that.
What was the question again?
Right now, are you going to pull out your gun and shoot somebody? Yes or no?
I'm gonna object. For the form, foundation, what's the question? You're gonna pull out
You
your gun
heard
and
the
shoot
question,
someone?
he answered it. And the reason you wouldn't do it is because it's illegal, right?
Correct.
Am I asking you to speculate about what you would do?
Are you asking me to speculate on what? Whether I would shoot you or not?
Yeah, you were able to answer that question very quickly and easily.
Lieutenant Milazzo showed a disregard for the Constitution and fundamental rights, as Amanda's attorney posed some simple questions he should have been familiar with.
Are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment, by the way?
Vaguely.
What does it say in your own vague terms?
No illegal search and seizure.
Right. Unless there's,
Probable cause.
or,
Okay. That's about all I know.
okay, all right, good enough. You said that. My client, Ms. Berquist, asked you that, didn't she?
I don't recall.
She asked you, are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment? You don't remember that?
No.
Okay. Did you watch any videos to prepare for today's deposition?
No.
It's a shame that a law enforcement officer is only vaguely aware of the Fourth Amendment. This shows how uninformed and ignorant cops are. The worst part is that this ignorance was nothing in comparison to what the lieutenant revealed later.
Which amendment is it that prevents you from seizing people's property without a lawful basis?
Fourth Amendment.
Exactly. So, do you know or not if you'd be violating the Fourth Amendment by deleting her pictures without a court order or a lawful basis?
No.
All right. How long have you been employed at Cook County Sheriff's?
27 years.
27 years. I imagine you only became a lieutenant recently?
No.
How long ago did you become a lieutenant?
22 years ago?
You've been a lieutenant for 22 years and you don't know the Miranda rights?
Yes.
Even after being badly exposed in front of the camera, Lieutenant Milazzo persisted in justifying their illegal arrest. It was almost an hour into the interview, and Amanda's attorney was still not done with everything, as he posed a very crucial question, exposing Milazzo's corruption yet again.
Did you ever tell her that she was going to go to jail for 90 days?
I believe we informed her that the judge could hold her in contempt for up to 90 days.
But you never told her, matter-of-factly, that she's going to go to jail for 90 days if she doesn't give you her ID?
I don't recall that, no.
Well, did you or did you not? Or do you not know?
I do not recall that.
Is that something that you would do and say?
No.
Okay. So is it fair to sit here today and tell us that you did not tell her that?
I say I didn't recall.
I know, but what I'm asking you is, I asked you, is that something you would say? And you said no. Isn't that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. So if that's not something you would say, then is it fair to say that you didn't say it?
I don't recall.
For the first time in the interview, the lieutenant did seem to be on the back foot and conceded his mistake.
She told you repeatedly she does not consent to searches, right?
Yes.
Okay. The only basis you had, we already talked about this, but I just want to make sure the record's clear. The only basis you had to search her purse was the detainment, right?
Yes.
And if the detainment was not lawful, then the search was not lawful, right?
That's legally, yes.
Thank you.
The lawyer kept asking him more questions regarding the arrest until he had covered the entire incident.
But if you saw her ID, why didn't you let her go? Was it out of your hands already?
I had already made the call to the presiding judge, yes.
Were you instructed? You said they called you back.
They did call me back.
Right. But before they called you back, you were ready to let her go, but just by showing you ID, right?
Yes.
Okay. So before they made that call back, all she had to do was show you ID and be on her way, right?
It was a short time frame. I don't recall.
At this point, the attorney seemed convinced with the interview and decided to end it, as he had gathered a lot to get the lieutenant into trouble.
When we detain somebody for any type of investigation, we basically take them, handcuff them for officer safety until our investigation is concluded, whether or not charges will be filed.
Okay. I don't have any follow-up.
The lieutenant underwent intense scrutiny throughout the interview, and I'm sure he badly regretted his past actions. However, later in 2022, Cook County settled the case with Amanda for $15,000. Officer Milazzo certainly brought shame to himself and the department, but he is still on the force further depicting the shortcomings within law enforcement. You might wonder how an interview can get even more embarrassing for the perpetrator, but here's one that surpasses even this.
Tell us the truth. Get it out there. Let's get this over with, get this behind us so we can all move on.
The individual being interviewed is former Oklahoma State Senator Ralph Shorty, and the reason for this interview is a bit shocking. Shorty was accused of child sex trafficking after he was arrested in March 2017 when police found him in a motel room with a 17-year-old. Shorty resigned from his position after this incident, and some days later, he was being interviewed.
Just tell me what transpired there.
Well, we were inside talking, and we heard a bang on the door. I honestly didn't know who it was. Couldn't see through the keyhole or the peephole. And so, the young man I was with, I know has, I've known him for. We've been talking. He's come to the coffee shop that I operated a couple times.
The officers straight away went into that infamous night, and Shorty seemed to have a completely different narrative to counter it.
Had no idea. Told me when I first met him that he was 20. And so when they first got there, I didn't know what the issue was. Didn't know if it was, somebody trying to get in or what. Mm-hmm. So, I asked them if there's somebody that said it was a wellness shit or something like that, and I said, hey, I'm fine. And they were persistent, and then I could finally see a badge on one of them. And then they said that there was a minor inside the room. Obviously, I had no idea when I first met this young man. He told me he was 20 years old.
Shorty claimed to have no idea about the boy being a minor, as he kept on lying. However, the officers had obtained access to the young boy's tablet, which revealed the conversation happening between them.
He says, I need money for spring break. Jamie Tilley says, I don't really have any legitimate things I need help with right now. Would you be interested in something? He says, yes. This goes on about how can I come get you, blah, blah, blah. We go on. He says, he starts calling this guy Daddy. He says, hurry up, Daddy. I'm super horny. Hey, keep me updated because I want you bad, Daddy. The guy named Jamie Tilley says, I'm gonna fuck you like a good little boy if you keep calling me Daddy. This goes on and on and on and on. Well, then it gets to the end, and it says, okay, I'll be down the street, a couple houses, in about 10 minutes or so.
At this moment, Shorty seemed to have lost the plot, as the officers started pressing him to accept the disgusting crime he had committed.
Tell us the truth. Get it out there. Let's get this over with, get this behind us so we can all move on. No, you're not. You're telling us part of what happened, but you're not telling us what's going on.
You told the officers there that you had an online identity of Jamie.
He's talking about, you talk about in these texts when this Kik account, about your kids and your kid being sick and your coffee shop and that you got customers left and that you close at 8. I mean, it's clearly you. It's clearly you.
I don't know who else you could have been talking to.
Nobody. I agree with you. Nobody.
You're
at a
agree.
coffee shop and has a kid, sick kid, and all this stuff.
And showed up.
It's you. And here's the deal. He says it's you that he's talking to.
The officers made another shocking revelation they had just discovered, and the details kept making the case even more terrifying.
We also exchanged at one point, and when hopefully you didn't take a picture of your dick with your phone because that's going to tag it whenever you send it to somebody.
No, I don't do that. I wouldn't. I don't understand why he would do this. I really don't.
Shorty kept denying the whole matter, as he kept shifting the entire blame onto the young boy.
So sure, maybe.
How does that help him?
I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, he has nothing to gain.
Why would that screw him on probation or whatever?
He has no idea who you are. He thinks your name is Jamie. He has no idea what your real name is. None. He referred to you as Jamie the whole time I'm talking to him.
The officers went over to read more of what they had talked about, and you'd be shocked to hear the disgusting stuff a state representative said to a minor.
How much stuff have you guys done together? So that was going to be the first time?
We weren't doing anything.
I know, not when we got there you weren't, but that was the plan for that evening. Clearly it was.
Sir, I'm telling you it wasn't.
You can't help with this stuff. You can definitely help with my stuff. That's another statement. I'm just going through reading what you wrote, because I can prove that you wrote it. I mean, that's you. So I'm just letting you know, so you know.
Another strange factor was that Shorty claimed that he had lost his phone on which he made any contact with the young boy, further raising doubts in the officers' minds.
How did you contact him last night? Or that night?
I think he called me.
He doesn't have a phone.
Sir, he called me. That's all I can say. I don't know.
How did he know that you were outside?
He called me, and I told him I was on my way. I told him I'd be there in a certain amount of time, and I got there.
Did you use this phone that you've lost?
I mean, it's the only phone I had.
One of the officers made a compelling argument in relation to his phone, with all of the evidence pointing towards him lying about everything.
In this blind, only knowing that we're going to want to talk to you about, the hotel room, and all of a sudden you come in and you don't have a phone, and I know you live with your phone. You have to. So that's just strange to us,
Is your phone on you right now?
No, it's not.
Is it in your car?
No.
Can I look at your car?
No, sure.
In the investigation, Shorty refused to accept that he had an online ID by the name of Jamie Tilley. However, he seemed to have conveniently forgot that he had admitted using this when he was caught inside the hotel room, something the officer was about to get onto.
You did, because we got body cameras and I actually saw it. So, they were talking to him, they were talking to you, and you said you had that you went online or had an online identity of Jamie. That's it. You didn't say Tilly, the last one, but you said Jamie.
I remember that, sir.
Okay.
I remember him asking me what my name was.
One of the officers left the interrogation room for a moment, and that's when the other officer tried to play the role of a good cop, as he intimidated Shorty into admitting to his actions.
Just like it's somebody else with kids and daughters in a coffee shop. Somebody else who's there. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you made a bad decision. It's not the end of the world.
And if I can't prove otherwise, that it is the end of the world.
Despite being shown all the evidence and warning him about the consequences, Shorty refused to admit any misdoings and remained silent, leaving officers no choice but to end the interview.
You think that if you stick your head in the sand and ignore it, it's going to go away. It's not. Your best bet is to tell us the truth, tell us what happened, and then move on from this. Make this a bump in the road, not the road. I mean, it's that simple, really. Do you mind if I pat you down real quick?
No, I should have said that before you sit down. We'll walk down in the car with you.
After this interrogation, the FBI got hold of the case and launched an investigation. They discovered that Shorty used Craigslist to solicit young males, receiving hundreds of communications as a result of the ads he posted. He ended up pleading guilty in November in exchange for prosecutors dropping 3 child charges against him. Shorty was sentenced to 15 years in prison, plus 10 years of supervision upon release. Well, this was one disgusting politician. However, coming back to corrupt cops, here's another troubling incident.
Just recover.
On January 20th, 2021, Los Angeles deputies were in search of a burglary suspect when they came across Jamal, who was sitting inside his car, eating lunch.
What's going on? You live around here? Hey, don't touch, bro. Relax. Hey, you match the description of somebody, okay, that just committed a burglary in the area. Okay, you're on camera, so don't step out of the car.
Is your body cam on?
It's on.
Yes,
it's on.
What's step on out, dude?
We'll explain everything to you, okay? Just step out of the car. Step out of the car.
I'm not stepping out of the car.
You're being detained for a burglary investigation, okay, sir? So step
No.
The cops were looking for a black suspect aged 20. Jamal on the other side was a black person aged 40, minding his own business. The officers took no time to investigate and started to latch over him from both sides.
I'm not answering questions. I want my lawyer.
Okay. Step out of the car. You're being detained right now. Alright? Step out of the car.
Sir.
Step on out, dude. You're on camera, dude, so don't do anything dumb. Okay?
Hold on. I'm gonna get this on camera.
Go ahead. You can record. Step out of the car, please.
He's being aggressive.
Hey, stop resisting, dude.
Stop resisting.
I'm just.
Why are you? No, man.
Okay. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Within a second, several police officers were now covering him as he was pinned to the ground. Jamal, however, kept shouting for help from the bystanders.
Stop, dude. Call the supervisor. Call your supervisor. I'm gonna tase you, dude. Call your supervisor. Get out of the car. Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor. I got it. Give me your hand. I don't give you consent to touch me. Don't reach. I don't give you consent to touch me. Don't reach.
None of the officers even felt the need to determine whether they had the right person or not. Clearly, this was a matter of racial prejudice.
Paso Verde and Santa Bianca.
Record this. Hey, stop. Let go of the cuffs, dude.
It's his shirt that's caught on it.
I got my side.
Cuffs are on. Cuffs are on.
You adjust here a little bit, alright?
Readjust.
Slow down a little bit.
Relax. Hey, we got a supervisor coming, man. I got radio. 142. Hey, why don't we read?
It was later determined that the officers were instructed that the suspect was wearing all black. Jamal, on the other hand, was wearing a maroon sweatshirt.
You got anything on you? I don't answer questions.
Okay. Stand by for further.
Let's walk these real quick.
Hey, can you record this?
It's recorded.
It's all
recorded. We all have cameras.
These guys are ridiculous.
Yeah, we are.
There you go.
A few moments later, the sergeant appeared on the scene, pulled over the officer, and demanded an explanation for the arrest.
Yeah, we just pulled up on a car. I told him, hey, we'd be detained for burglary investigation. He matched the description of the burglary suspect, and he refused to get out. And all we did was just control holds and try to pull him out.
Control holds, takedown?
Control holds, and then, once we had him completely out of the car, then I just did a little takedown to the ground.
Cool.
And team hat, that was pretty much it.
So once he was on down, that's when they showed up?
No, I think they assisted. I think Bachler helped me out. Well, he was, I think, just there. And I just took him down on the right-hand side. I don't know who's on the left. I don't know who's on the right.
The officers explained the entire ordeal was nothing, even though they had subjected Jamal to a violent and unjustified encounter.
It's like instant.
I can't. Like right there is just...
You're feeling it? What you need, guys? That's who the car is right now.
I don't give you consent to go on my car and check my car. I don't give you consent to check my car. You're violating my 4th Amendment constitutional right.
Finally, the officers at least made the decision to bring him up from the ground as they proceeded to conduct a search on his vehicle.
Let's bring it up. Do you want to lose the car right here? We can just stand up and go right into the seat. Or do you want us to walk down?
Yeah, we'll walk down, dude. So we'll sit him up on his butt, and then we'll help him out to his feet.
Hey, Alex, just leave it there. We'll walk him that way. We'll walk him.
Hey, boss, we're gonna put you on your butt. You're gonna sit down, okay? You ready? Let's go. Come on. Sit up. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's go. If we take that rope off your feet, are you gonna kick us? Oh, that's a no. Okay. All right, stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up, sir. Scooch up a little bit. Hey, we're gonna take that rope off your legs, okay? Do not kick us, please. We'll take it off.
There you go, man.
Good job.
The officers knew that the suspect wore a black mask. Therefore, they decided to search his car, hoping to find it. Once again, the officers could have pursued this investigative step before resorting to this violence.
I'm gonna research the vehicle and see if the mask that the suspect was seen on picture that was taken by the informant is inside the car. So I'm gonna be looking for that mask specifically one more time, see if it's inside the vehicle.
After the search, the cops discovered nothing of that sort inside the vehicle, as they discovered that Jamal Williams was not the suspect they were looking for. However, despite knowing this, the officers arrested Williams and charged him with a felony of resisting an executive officer. It took more than a year before this charge was dropped, and amidst that time, Jamal also filed a formal complaint with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department against the two officers involved in the arrest. After an investigation, the department claimed that the officers were not guilty and found nothing wrong. That's not it though, as in January 2022, Jamal filed a civil rights lawsuit against the Sheriff's Department and the deputies involved in the arrest. The suit is currently under proceedings, and we can only hope that Jamal gets justice and that the deputies are removed from the force. Well, this brings us to the end of our video. Today's cases shed light on the systematic issues of corruption and incompetence within law enforcement. While one incident involved a corrupt politician, the other two events highlighted the lack of understanding and competence amongst officers when it comes to the law. The cops in either case were left without facing any consequences for their actions, whereas they should not have only been removed from the force, but also charged for their actions. If you share these concerns, please consider showing your support by liking this video, and also make sure to subscribe to stay informed about future cases like these. Also, if you enjoyed this video, check out the next video right here.